Alright, hello YouTubers. Today is going to be compressor day. Now, I have an airbag system on my truck. Right now the front is the only thing on air, but there you go. You can see my air system right there. There you go. You can see it better there. Basically, what I did is because one, I'm broke, and two, I don't like the big of an electric compressor. I wanted onboard air regardless of the air system. So what I did was what any broke guy does. We use what we got. And what that is the stock air compressor for the air conditioning system on my 92 F-150. Now, it should be the same for 92 through 96 F series. Everybody told me that I'd have to get a York or a Sandon or whatever. I was like, well, shit, it's going to work or it's not. It's one of the two. And so far, I've had beautiful results. I can get about 200 psi in a 5-gallon tank in about 45 seconds. Now, that is with revving the engine, because the engine-driven compressor is ran off of your engine, and the faster the RPMs are, the faster it fills. That being said, let's start and take it from the top. One, you've got your compressor. It's already out of gas, or if it's got gas, you need to get it drained. Now, from there, after you've had it safely done, because Freon can cause some major issues, from there, your big hose is your inlet hose. Now, what this fella does is suck in air. Now, I don't have a filter on this at the moment because I just filled it up. And what I did from there was your big hose that goes from here over from your compressor into your receiver dryer. This big fella right here. This big hose here is what I've been using that. It works great. All I had to do is just cut it off, and that sucks just free air into the compressor, adds in the oil. Now, I will side note this, engine-driven compressors are very nasty. They do put through some oil because, no deposit, no return. And then from there, you have your smaller hose on the opposite side. You can see it right there. This fella right here that has the metal crook to it. It comes back, goes back to a barb fitting, and then it connects onto some standard air lines all the way back to my air tank. Now you can see the air tank in the back of my truck, and my air comes in here, comes in through a check valve, my water trap, into my tank. Now from the tank, it goes back up to my valve block in the cab, and then from there it splits off to front and rear. And this little fella is my external quick disconnect. Now, the quick disconnect comes from there to where the rear tank fuel filter neck used to be. And look at what we got right here. This little fella usually stays right here, but vibration knocks it out, but whatever. But I have a nice clean disconnect that if I need air, just pop my hose in right there and I'm good to go. Now, back to my video footage up here. Now, once you've got your air cycling and stuff, what you're going to need is some 30 weight oil, straight 30. Now, in my case, I grabbed the wrong thing. I had 530, but it's still 30 weight. It's not any thicker. And from there, I just put some in. It goes in, lubricates the compressor so it doesn't burn up. And I do get a little bit of oil feedback into my water trap, so I keep it from going into my airbags and air tank. Now, from all this, it's costed about $50 to set this up. After you get a filter, after you get your fittings and stuff, because if you just want onboard air to fill up tires and stuff, no big deal. You're still going to have to pay about $50 for all the fittings, and then plus your tank, but you don't have half the wiring and stuff that I did. Now, I have my on and off switch on the console of my truck, but basically all you need, since everything's already there, is instead of your air conditioner compressor wire, your on and off switch for your electric clutch there. You can see that little red wire wiggling. And what that fella does is turning on the clutch to make your compressor work. You'll need, I think it was a 30 amp fuse and a 30 amp relay. It takes the load off the switch. You'll need a switch, some at least 14 gauge wire to run back. Wire it all up. It's actually what that red wire red over there is, the little thin one right here. And that way I can sit in my truck and turn it on and off and build my air pressure up in the tank and not have to get out or do anything more than what I'd have to do for anything else. It's a very simple system. Like I said, I can build 5 gallons of air in about 45 seconds at 220 psi. So plenty enough for me to use for my air tanks and stuff for my airbags here. Now, there you go. You can see it's fully laid out, and then I hit my switch and good to go. You can see that it's filled up the tank, the airbag, and I get quite a bit of lift out of my air suspension in the front. I do not have the drop beams yet, but they'll be coming. But yeah, that's about it.